Hello all, welcome to our YouTube channel Let's Learn Automation. Today we are going to solve another TCS IPA OOPS problem. Let's look at the problem. So the problem is to create a class player with below attributes: player ID, player name, runs, player type and match type. And the above attribute should be private. Write getters, setters, parameterize constructor as required. Let's go to the editor. I will clear the editor and we have to create a class player with these attributes. I'll paste it, and the attribute should be private. Int player ID, and next is private string player name. This private int runs. Next is private string player type, and the last one private string match type. So these are our attributes. Now we have to create parameterized constructor. So instead of setters, we are going to use parameterized constructor to set these private values. To do that, we will create a constructor public player, and I will pass the parameters integer player ID 1, string player name 1, integer runs 1, string player type 1, and the last one string match type 1. So these are the parameters, and now we are going to set these values to this private value. To do this, we will use this keyword this dot player ID equal to player ID 1. Similarly, this dot player name equal to player name 1. Next is this dot runs equal to runs 1. Next is this dot player type equal to player type 1. And the last one, this dot match type equal to match type 1. So this is our parameterized constructor. Now we have to write getters. So we will write 5 getter method for these 5 attributes. So I will get public and type is integer get player ID, and in return I will give player ID. Next is public string player name get player name. I will return player name. Next is public int get runs, and I will return runs. Fourth one is public string get player type, and in return I will send player type. And last one is match type. I will write public string get match type, and in return I will send match. So in this way we will write 5 getters method. This is our parameterized constructor which we will use as setter to set these private values, and this is our complete. Now let's you back into the question. Now we have to create a class solution with main method. So let's create a class solution. So before that, we will import all the Java packages. Import java dot util dot star. So that in util package you will need scanner, arrays, or any other tablet classes that we will require. Next is import java dot line dot star. Last one, import java dot io dot star. Now we will create public class solution. So since file name is main.java, I will write class name as main instead of solution. So in exam we have to write class name as solution instead of this main. And it's inside this class I will create main method. Public static void main string marks. So this is our main method. Now let's dive back into. Now we have to implement two static methods, find player with lowest runs and find player by match type. So before implementing these two static methods, we will go here, and before calling these static methods in main, use scanner object to read the values of four player objects referring attributes in above mentioned attribute sequence. So we have to take inputs from the user and we have to take four player objects. We have to declare a player array whose size will be 4. Let's do that. So before that we will create a scanner object, scanner sc equal to new scanner system dot in, and now we have to create a player class array. I will name it as player and whose size will be 4. So in this way we will get 4 objects in this player array. And to get the values in this array, we will use for loop for int I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. And now I will create another variables similar to get these values, private values, this main method. I will create int player id equal to sc dot next integer. Since this value is numeric value, I will write sc dot next line to avoid input mismatch exception. Next is string player name 2 equal to sc dot next line. Next is integer runs 2 equal to sc dot next int. So this is numeric value. So I will write sc dot next line. Next is string player type 2 equal to sc dot next line. The last one string match type 2 equal to sc dot next line. So in this way I will get the attribute values for each object, and now I have to pass this as an object in this array. So to do that I will create a new object using this parameterized constructor and pass all these values using this parameterized constructor. So I will write here at position I will create new player object and I will pass all these values. Here id 2, player 2, runs 2, player type 2 and match type 2. So in this way I will create total for objects that will be stored in this player array. Now let's look at the question. Next, read the values of two string parameter for capturing player type and match type. Now we will have to declare another two string variables, string to capturing player type equal to sc dot next line, and next is string match type equal to sc dot next line. In this way, we will get all the inputs from the user. Now, below this main method, we will implement two static methods. Let's look at the description. So, first method is find player with lowest rank. So, this method will take array of player objects and string value as input parameters. The method will return the least number of list runs of the player from array of player objects for given player type. So return type will be integer and it will return the least runs of the player from player array. And if no player with above condition are present in array of player objects, then it should return 0. So let's code this. I will create a new method, public static, return type is integer, and method name is find player with lowest runs. And this method will take two input parameter, player array, I will name it as player 1, and string parameter, that is match type. String parameter is player type. And now we have to send the player's runs who has lowest runs. I will initially set sum equal to 0. If there is no such player with this player type, then it should return 0. Now I will iterate in this array player 1 for here I in player 1. I will check if I dot get player type dot equals this player type. If it is equal, then we will check if minimum is equal to 0. If this condition matches and it is entering the loop for the first time and the minimum is 0, then I will set minimum as this player's runs. I dot get runs. And in else if if the array is running second time, if it is entering this if for the second or third time, then I will check if minimum is greater than I dot get runs. If it is greater, then I will set minimum as I dot get runs. In this way, we will get the player with lowest runs. And then after for loop, I will return min. So this is our first method. Now we will call this method from main method. Let's look at the description. For find players with lowest runs, the main method should print the return runs as it is if the return value is greater than 0, or it should print no such player. Let's do this. In main method, I will create variable lowest runs, and I will call this method find player with lowest runs. Now I will pass two input parameters, that is this player array and the second parameter player type. This way I will get the lowest runs, and I will check if lowest runs is greater than 0, then I will print string.out.println lowest runs. Else I will print out.println no such player. So this is our first method. Now we will implement second method. So let's look at the question. Second method is find player by match type. So this method will take array of player objects and string value as input parameter and return the array of player objects belonging to the match type passed as input parameter in descending order of player ID. So the input parameters are player array and string parameter. String parameter is match type and return type is again player array, and we have to sort the return array in descending order of player ID. If no player with above condition are present, then method should return null. So let's implement this. So I will write the method public static return type is player array and method name is method find player by match type. Find player by match type, and input parameters are player array. I will name it as player 2 and string parameter match type. So we have to find the players in this player array which have this match type. So to sort to get the players, after getting this player, we will place the players in separate array. So to do that, we will first create a list of players, list of player objects, and it will contain list of players, new array list. And now I will check, I will go through this player array for player I in player 2. I will check if I dot get player type dot equals this match type. I dot get match type. Get match type equal to this match type. So if it is equal, I will pick this player object and put it into this list of players. Then I will list of players dot add I. So in this way we will get the list of players with this match type. Now we will check if this list is empty or not. If this list of players dot is empty, if it is empty, then we will return null. Else, we will convert this list into array and sort it in descending order of player ID. Then I will convert this list into array. So I will declare player array, name it as new array. I will convert this list of players dot to array, and array type will player, and its length of array will be list of players dot size. This way we will convert this list into array, and now we have to sort this array. I will use arrays dot sort array, and to sort this array on the basis of player ID, I will use comparator class. So I will create new comparator, and we have to sort the player object, and we will override an interface compare. Override public int compare, and we will compare player comma player b array, and this method will sort the array on the basis of return e dot on the basis of player ID. Get player ID minus a dot get player ID. So this method will sort the array in descending order of their player ID. So after sorting, we will return this new array. Okay. So this is our method find player by match type. Now we will call this method from main method. So this is main method, and let's look at the description. Description: find player by match type. The main method should print the player ID from the returned player array for each player if the return value is not null. If it is null, we have to print no player with given match type. Let's do this. So in main method, I will create new player array. I will name it as new player array. I will call this method find player by match type, and I will pass two input parameters player array and second string parameter match type. In this way, we will get the new player array with players having this match type. And now we have to check if new player array equal to null. If it is equal to null, then I will print system dot out dot. We have to print no player with given match type. Player with given match type. Else I have to print player ID for each player in this array. So I will use for loop and iterate through this new player array, and I will print dot out println I dot get player id. So in this way I will print the player id of all the players in this new player array. So this is our complete implementation. Now let's compile this and find if there are any errors. So compiled successfully. Now I will pass these inputs. Put 1, 11, 2, Monday. Output is 67, 14 and 11. Paste it here. 67, 14 and 11. Now it's time for second test case. 11, 2, T20. And the output is no such player, no player with given match. I will run this again. Compiled successfully. Passing the test cases and no such player, no player with given match. So this is our complete implementation. I hope you like this video. If you like it, share it with your friends. Thank you.